everyone, this is J.Keerthi of 3rd BA English Literature from Mahalakshmi Women's College of Arts and Science. I am here to review the book Scarlet Letter written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. The Scarlet Letter, a romance, is a work of historical fiction by American author Hawthorne published in 1850, set in Puritan Massachusetts Bay Colony during the years 1642 to 1649. The novel tells the story of Hester Prynne, who conceives a daughter through an affair and then struggles to create a new life of repentance and dignity. Containing a number of religious and historic allusions, the book explores themes of legalism, sin, and guilt. The Scarlet Letter opens with a long preamble about how the book came to be written. The nameless narrator was the surveyor of the custom house in Salem, Massachusetts. In the custom house attic, he discovered a number of documents, among them a manuscript that was bundled with a scarlet, gold embroidered patch of cloth in the shape of an A. The manuscript, the work of a past surveyor, detailed events that occurred some 200 years before the narrator's time. When the narrator lost his customs post, he decided to write a fictional account of the events recorded in the manuscript. The Scarlet Letter is the final product. The story begins in 17th century Boston, then a Puritan settlement. A young woman, Hester Prynne, is led from the town prison with her infant daughter Pearl in her arms and the scarlet letter A on her breast. A name in the crowd tells an elderly onlooker that Hester is being punished for adultery. Hester's husband, a scholar much older than she is, sent her ahead to America, but he never arrived in Boston. The consensus is that he has been lost at sea. While waiting for her husband, Hester has apparently had an affair as she has given birth to a child. She will not reveal her lover's identity, however, and the Scarlet Letter, along with her public shaming, is her punishment for her sin and her secrecy. On this day, Hester is led to the town scaffold and harassed by the town fathers, but she again refuses to identify her child's father. The elderly onlookers is Hester's missing husband, who is now practicing medicine and calling himself Roger Chillingworth. He settles in Boston, intent on revenge. He reveals his true identity to no one but Hester, whom he has sworn to secrecy. Several years pass. Hester supports herself by working as a seamstress, and Pearl grows into a willful, impish child. Shunned by the community, they live in a small cottage on the outskirts of Boston. Community officials attempt to take Pearl away from Hester, but with the help of Arthur Dimmesdale, a young and eloquent minister, the mother and daughter manage to stay together. Dimmesdale, however, appears to be washing away and suffers from mysterious heart trouble, seemingly caused by the psychological distress. Chillingworth attacks himself, the ailing minister, and eventually moves in with him so that he can provide his patient with round-the-clock care. Chillingworth also suspects that there may be a connection between the minister's torments and Hester's secret, and he begins to test Dimmesdale to see what he can learn. One afternoon, while the minister sleeps, Chillingworth discovers a mark on the man's breast, which convinces him that his suspicions are correct. Dimmesdale's psychological anguish deepens, and he invents new tortures for himself. In the meantime, Hester's charitable deeds and quiet humility have earned her a reprieve from the scorn of the community. One night, when Pearl is about 7 years old, she and her mother are returning home from a visit to a deathbed when they encounter Dimmesdale atop the town's scaffold, trying to punish himself for his sins. Hester and Pearl join him, and the three link hands. Dimmesdale refuses Pearl's request that he acknowledge her publicity, and the next day, a meteor marks a dull red A in the night sky. Hester can see that the minister's condition is worsening, and she resolves in intervene. She goes to Chillingworth and asks him to stop adding to Dimmesdale's self-torment. Chillingworth refuses. Hester arranges an encounter with Dimmesdale in the forest because she is aware that Chillingworth has probably guessed that she has plans to reveal his identity to Dimmesdale. The former lovers decided to flee to Europe, where they can live with Pearl as a family. They will take a ship sailing from Boston in 4 days. Both feel a sense of release, and Hester removes her scarlet letter and lets down her hair. Pearl, playing nearby, does not recognize her mother without the letter. The day before the ship is to sail, the townspeople gather for a holiday, and Dimmesdale preaches his most elegant sermon ever. Meanwhile, Hester has learned that Chillingworth knows of their plan and has booked passage on the same ship. Dimmesdale, leaving the church after his sermon, sees Hester and Pearl standing before the town scaffold. He impulsively mounts the scaffold with his lover and his daughter and confesses publicly, exposing a scarlet letter sealed into a flesh of his chest. He falls dead and Pearl kisses him. Frustrated in his revenge, Chillingworth dies a year later. Hester and Pearl leave Boston, and no one knows what has happened to them. Many years later, Hester returns alone, still wearing the scarlet letter, to live in her old cottage and resume her charitable work. She receives occasional letters from Pearl, who has married a European aristocrat and established a family of her own. When Hester dies, she buried next to the Dimmesdale. The two shares a single tombstone which bears the scarlet letter A. Hope you all liked this video. Thank you for watching.